Hi, CMattDye here. Hopefully you're having a great day. And today I wanted to bring to you a beginner Cardano video, talk about what Cardano is, why I like it, talk about some wallets, talk about how to grow your Cardano bag, if you will, or your portfolio, however you want to look at it. I look at it as I have a portfolio and I want to grow it. And my portion in Cardano I'll get to in a little bit towards the end of the video, and what I think of it. There will be timestamps in the description below, so if you want to skip to a certain section, feel free to. But right now I'm going to talk about why I got into Cardano and a little bit about the history of crypto in general. So the first electronic change of money was Bitcoin. Bitcoin came out. I know you've heard the story of the first pizza bought with a Bitcoin, which is, pretty crazy. A lot of Bitcoin went into purchasing that pizza. This was in like 2013 or 2012, something like that. So that was interesting. Then many years later came Ethereum and came smart contracts. Now we can only exchange money in Bitcoin. Ethereum smart contracts, now we can make that money do stuff. We can say, okay, well, I'm going to exchange you this money if such and such happens, and it's in a smart contract. So if that doesn't happen, the money goes right back to the original owner of that money. But the one thing that Ethereum lacked was scalability. Well, one of the founders of Ethereum was Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson. And he decided he could improve that scalability, but he couldn't do it on Ethereum. Well, then he split off and he founded Cardano. Cardano is a third generation blockchain. First generation is Bitcoin. You can only exchange money, and Bitcoin has never been hacked. Fun fact. Ethereum brought the smart contracts, and they're considered second generation, but it lacked scalability. It also lacked security. Ethereum has been hacked several times. Not to say anything bad about them, but it's a fact. Then came Cardano. Cardano was really focused on three things: scalability, security, and sustainability. You can see why Cardano. And because of that, Cardano is slow. It's really growing slowly, because it is really focused on those three things. So it is going to scale, and eventually it's going to be, the top or one of the top blockchains, in my opinion. Security and sustainability. Whereas Ethereum's focused on North America, Cardano is mostly focused in Africa. You have a lot of companies like Impawa. They're building houses in Africa. Sustainable houses. And then Meld is focused on that area as well. Charles Hoskinson is focused on that area. They're in Africa. They're helping a lot of students transfer all of their records onto the blockchain, because right now in Africa, it's easy to doctor a document. It's hard to justify that you own certain property because they just don't have the rules and regulations or the ability to enforce them. School is another thing. It's very easy to forge documents because it's hard to keep track of it. They don't have the infrastructure. Well, blockchain gives them that. So whenever they port a lot of those students onto the blockchain, they know everything that they've done from grade school on. Here in North America, it's easy because we've had this infrastructure, and it's hard to implement a blockchain. But over there, they don't have the infrastructure. So blockchain is really going to grow them. And my opinion now, whenever countries try to over-regulate cryptocurrency, they scare cryptocurrency off. Well, in countries like Africa, where Cardano's predominantly focused, and they're trying to help their infrastructure and build their infrastructure, well, they're going to end up in the future being light years ahead of these countries that are trying to get rid of crypto. like China blocking Bitcoin several years ago. But anyway, that's my little spiel about that. Why did I get into crypto? For all those reasons I just talked about. So when I first got into Cardano was late last year. I was in crypto prior to that, but I was never in an actual ecosystem. I was just buying and selling, like swing trading crypto. Then when I got into the crypto ecosystem, the first company I actually bought into was Empowa, and I really do enjoy them, and I love the community, and I got along with everybody, and everything was positivity. How you doing? Saying goodnight when you go to sleep. And I know it's Discord, but the community was just awesome, and I really, really enjoyed that. Well, I looked and I started branching out in Cardano and looking at things, and I bought my first NFT through that project. But then I started looking out in other ways, and my ADA bag wasn't really that big. So I started looking at ways of how to actually grow it. Well, that's when NFTs came in. So before I get into that, let's talk about wallets first. And the first wallet that I started with, it was Yoroi wallet. And I think that's the first wallet a lot of people started with. I say started because I rarely use them anymore. I still use them to stake into ISPOs. I'm going to get into what that is in a minute. But I don't use them predominantly. I don't use my Yoroi wallet every single day, whereas I go to some other wallets every single day. So Yoroi is a good wallet. Nami, apparently their website didn't pull up. Okay, so Nami wallet is another wallet, and it is browser based. So if I pull up my wallet right now, this is my one of my Nami wallets. I can see that's where it's staked at. I have these tokens, I have NFTs, and then I can see my transactions. That is Nami. And then Eternal, which used to be CC Vault, is also a very, very good wallet. And on Eternal, you can actually use it mobile as well. There is a mobile browser or mobile wallet, mobile app, whatever you want to call it. So sometimes I use Eternal on my phone to purchase NFTs off the secondary. But just talking about that, once you go to add a wallet, it's going to create wallet, restore wallet. Well, what you're going to get is a series of keys, of staking keys. If I go to create wallet, what's going to ask me all this? I don't really want to do all of that, but it's basically going to give you a set of words, and you're going to want to remember those words, because if you keep those words, you can restore your wallet anywhere. But if you lose those words, you lose access to that wallet. Also, your spending password, very, very important. So if you look at wallets on Cardano, so having an actual wallet, once you get those stake keys or the words, usually 12 to 24 words, 12, 20, and 24, I think is the normal pattern. Once you get those words in your spending password, that is basically like a bank account. So if you think of that like a bank account, well, your wallets are how you access that bank account. So it's like the app to access your bank account. I don't know if you have multiple apps to access your bank account, but that's where I'm going with this analogy. So you have your bank account on the blockchain. Well, your wallet is how you access it. So you can literally have two wallets accessing the same exact bank account on the blockchain. That's fine. All you have to do is go here and go to restore wallet, and you can restore your wallet in any of these actually. Yoroi, I use the mobile app Yoroi, but there's also a Yoroi extension in the browser, Nami extension in the browser, and then Eternal, an extension and a mobile app. And you can use your wallet as an extension or a mobile app, or both, whatever you would like to do. But that's an important concept there, that you have your bank account and you can have several, and then your wallet is how you access it. So that's the difference. I've had a lot of questions about that, so I figured might as well talk about it. So With Cardano, you have three different companies. So if we go here to cardano.org, we can scroll down and you see there's three different partners, right? So Cardano Foundation is the first one. They're a nonprofit whose main mission is to standardize, protect, and promote the Cardano protocol. So that is their sole reason. Emergo is a for-profit arm of Cardano that develops, supports, and incubates commercial ventures who want to revolutionize their industries using blockchain technology. So that's what Emergo is. And then IOHK, or Input Output Hong Kong, founded by Charles Hoskinson and Jeremy Wood. They're a software research and development company contracted to design, build, and maintain the Cardano platform. So those are the three partners that make up Cardano. So nonprofit, and for-profit. And then Cardano uses a proof of stake, if you're not familiar with proof of work, proof of stake. So proof of work is, you've heard mining cryptocurrency, mining Bitcoin, mining Ethereum. Those are proof of work. Proof of stake means that the holders of Cardano have a stake in the network and they receive rewards for validating the blocks and securing the network. That's what I talked about stake pools earlier. Your Cardano stake pools, you can get 4.5 to 5% just for staking your Cardano, which helps validate blocks, and basically that's validating transactions. Now the one difference in Cardano, they separate the transfer of value and the storage of data into two distinct layers. You know, some blockchains, they combine them in one, like Ethereum. Well, separating them allows the transactions to be more secure and private, but it also allows each section to be upgraded on its own. So the transfer of value area, you can upgrade that on its own. The storage of data, you can upgrade it on its own, which is pretty cool, and I think it's a neat concept. Now let's talk about the roadmap actually for Cardano. So we are here in Basho, or Basho, however you want to pronounce it. Byron, it was a foundation stage or a settlement layer. Shelley was the decentralization, which enabled stake pools. So any of your ISPOs or just regular stake pools, think Shelley for that one. And then Goguen enabled smart contracts. Now a lot of people thought smart contracts and scaling were the same thing. It's not, but this roadmap it's been here for a long time. You know, before I got into Cardano, this roadmap was here, which specified the difference, but a lot of people still thought that it was the same thing. Well, Basho is focusing on scaling, and the system will gain more resources with each user. So each user that comes on board, more scaling is going to happen. And then Voltaire is the governance layer, which is focused on sustainability and will have a treasury model for proposals, which is pretty interesting. If you've heard of the Catalyst Fund, something like that, you know, you'll be able to, you know, put out proposals and stuff like that. So now that we know a little bit about Cardano, I'm going to talk about how I started growing my Cardano stack, or my Cardano bag, or my Cardano portfolio, whatever term you want to use, insert it, it's fine. So there's one thing that I started looking at when I first got into Cardano, and it was called CardanoCube.io, the Cardano Ecosystem Interactive Map. I'm gonna have all these links in the description. So if you want to look at anything, it's going to be in the description. So look down there. So you have DEX liquidity, you have, you know, MallaDex, MinSwap. A lot of people are probably familiar with that. SunnySwap, Wing Riders, MuesliSwap, Genius Yield. You have different wallets. Like Adalite was a wallet I was looking at a long time ago. Never got into it. You have your NAMI, your ROI. You have your DeFi, Vi Finance, which is also going to have a DEX when they come out, probably in the next couple months. But yeah, all of your DeFi is going to be here. Some of these do overlap. your different infrastructure projects like Empower, for example. I talked about that earlier. Your launch pads like Genius X, Occam Razor, Occam Fi. A lot of people know those. Marketplaces, your JPEG store. I don't see Epoch art, but your metaverses, your gaming, your social, stable coins. Why am I showing you this? Your lending and borrowing like Ardana, Liquid, ADA. Because if you're interested in Cardano, getting here, getting familiar with some of the projects, and you can also diversify your portfolio a little bit. So you want to get a little bit of DEX, a little bit of infrastructure, or some launchpad, whatever combo that you want. You can come here and check it out. So this is what I started with. I started looking at things. I think I found Empower before I found CardanoCube, but every other project I used CardanoCube to find, and I get in and I look at it. Atomic Swap is actually a NFT trading site, but they're very small, they're growing, and the developers, in the Discord all the time talking. So I do root for their success for sure. But yeah, get in here and you can learn a lot of stuff. So what I started doing is first looking at this, seeing what I wanted to invest in. Vi Finance is one of my favorites, but that's me personally, just sharing my thoughts. So I wanted to invest in that, and I did. And that was the second company I invested in after Empower. But I decided, okay, well, I need a way to grow my ADA. I could take my ADA and turn it into something else and swing trade stuff, but I want to grow it inside the ADA, inside the Cardano ecosystem. So what I turned to, was CNFTs. And I want to talk about that a little bit because that's what I started doing. And you can go here. This is OpenCNFT, and this shows all of the established projects. When I say established, I mean that it's been out for at least a day, or it's minted. So I mean, as long as you have 2 transactions on the secondary market, it'll show up. So it's been minted, at least whitelist mint, and it's trading on here, and you can see. So this is the 24-hour. You can go to 7 days, you can go to 30 days. What I usually do is look at 24-hour and then 7 days and then 30 and then go back to 7, and I see what is trending on here. What do I want to purchase? And then I look at it like a investor would, and then I look at the project like a little kid would, and then I decide, okay, well, are the two congruent? Where's the price at that I want to get in? And I get in and write it. And that's what I do here. If you've seen any of my weekly CNFT videos, I talk about some things I'm looking at. You can see Aqua Farmers shot up. It actually shot up a little bit over 400, and now it's going down a little bit. I sold a couple of mine the past couple days. Chilled Kongs, a little bit under 3,000 now, but it did get over 3,000. That was kind of the number I was looking for. And it's probably going to come down a little bit and go back up again. So that's interesting. Mandrills has actually taken off. I kind of missed the boat on that one. It is what it is. Can't win them all. But that's what I look at as CNFTs. You can go here to CNFT Tools, and you can actually become, you can click on one of these. So let's say Chilled Kongs. And then you can hit search and type in, whatever you want to look for. So Chilled Kongs comes up, you can go to price, and then it shows you, well, these are the Chilled Kongs that are for sale. Chilled Kongs don't actually have a rarity. Most CNFTs do have rarity, but Kongs really don't. They don't have a rarity value. You can go here and it'll tell you there's only 86 exotic cats or 28 unicorn tiaras. But that's a little bit about that. And then if I'm minting a CNFT, I come here and this shows me, this is a CNFT calendar. Again, it'll be linked in the description below, and I can go to different dates and it tells me what's minting. And I usually look on this and I go by the art, the name, and if it gives me a vibe or not. If I think it looks good, I'll click on the name. Like try to find something decent that I can click on it and give my opinion. Okay, so what about Club Dragon NFT? That looks decent. Come down here, Club Dragon, and then they have their Discord. They don't have a website, they have a Discord. Well, that's, I want everything to have a website. I will, was a web developer, still am kind of, and I'm big on a website. But your website really is the first time they see you. So like if someone comes to your house and you have a welcome mat, they're like, oh wow, that's cool. They have a welcome mat. They don't think that consciously, but subconsciously they think that. Well, there's no welcome mat for this site. It's just go to Discord, check it out. Here's the supply. The supply is low and the price is right. So if their Discord is good, maybe I would admit that, but not having a website, which they might have one, it just doesn't show up here. That could be a thing. It has happened before. But that's kind of what I look at. I'm also going to include in the description, there's what I look at when I'm getting into CNFTs. And I implore you, don't go crazy with it. And the last thing I wanted to leave you with is portfolio allocation. That's very important, and no one looks at that. So let's say you have, and I get the question, if I had 200 to 1,000 ADA, how would I grow my Cardano bag? How could I grow my ADA? And if I only had that little bit, which I say little bit in monetary terms, all ADA matters. So what I would do if I had 1,000 or less ADA is I would get into CNFTs. And what the best strategy is to get into a good NFT project and flip it. And you can do a couple different ways. Like if it's a good project and the price is right, you can mint 3 of them, sell 1, and then 2 of them should be free, or sell 2 and 1 of them should be free. So if you want to be in the project long term, well, good, do it that way. So you mint 3 and then sell 2, and then you have 1 long term. Yeah, other people might have 5 or 10. It doesn't matter. If you like the project, get in the project, because really the community is what makes it. The dev team, the community, and I'll have a link below to what I look at in particular for those projects. So what I do is I have my portfolio sectioned off. When I first started, I didn't have it sectioned off, but after 2 rug pulls, I really started looking at things, and I was up even after those rug pulls. Overall, I was still up a good amount. And I don't want to say a number because that'll sound like I'm being conceited. But, speaking facts, I was still up with those rug pulls, but those rug pulls showed me that I needed to treat this like I do in the centralized markets. I need to split up my portfolio, and now I have a certain percentage for long-term projects, and then I have a percentage for short-term and medium-term. So if I have a medium-term project that I really, really just like, and I make it into a long-term project, well, that means either I need to sell a long-term project that I have, or I need to have grown my portfolio enough so that percentage makes sense in the overall grand scheme of things. So that is how I look at it. I have a percentage for long-term, I have a percentage for short-term and medium-term, and then I have projects. Like right here, I have a percentage for projects. So I have a little bit of Wi-Fi. I have a little bit of Empower. I have a little bit of Ardana, some Liquid. Lending Pond, I have their NFT. So if you have the NFT for Lending Pond, it's acronym DAO, or you can create a custom one, and you can actually lend money on different NFTs. And I caution you on Lending Pond because a lot of people ask for more ADA than the NFT is worth. And if you take that trade, you've essentially bought that NFT. That's what some people try to do there. But you do have some people that legitimately ask for like 50 to 60% of their NFT value because they want to pay it back. So if you want to become a lender, that's good. If you want to just, take a loan on an NFT, that's also a good place. Lending Pond is a good one. I'm going to include a video that I did on Lending Pond below, so you can check that out as well. I have some ADA, some MELD. That's staked right now, so if you look at my portfolio, you won't see it, but their apps allow you to stake in a smart contract. So once that smart contract is up, the amount goes back to me. Chainlink seems like a good company to me. I don't own any, but I am looking at it, just to say. Let's see. I don't think I'm looking at anything else in this section. Oh, I thought that said ADAO at first. That's not what it says. Redoto, I was in them a long time ago, but I got out for a little bit of profit. But they are like CardStarter, where they started on a different blockchain and now they're trying to port over to the Cardano blockchain. And usually that's just because the company wanted to go ahead and start, but they felt that Cardano was not ready or too congested or whatever. I don't know. Depends on what they tell you, but that's usually the case. Something like that. Genius X, I'm in their stake pool. I can have their ISPO down below. Video I did. ADA handle is just an easier way to send transactions. So instead of sending transactions to a bunch of different letters, you can send it to $ CMattDye, for example, or whatever, $ send ADA here. But it's just much easier to send transactions that way, especially if you send a lot of transactions, which, I mean, even over 10, it's a little aggravating. So that can help in that circumstance. So hopefully that actually does make a little bit of sense and give you an idea of where you can start. Like if I had 200 to 1,000 ADA, I would start in NFTs and grow my bag a little bit, and then as you grow, you can average into some of these projects. And right now, ADA is depressed. The whole market's down, and the market's going to be down, I think, for at least several months. So if you can grow your ADA, then you can get into some of these projects at a really good deal. And a lot of these DEXs, Vifinance, Maladex, Liquid, they're going to be coming out in the next several months, like probably in July, August, September, probably somewhere around then. You'll get some real heavy hitting DEXs coming out. I think ViFi is going to have they're going to have overall about 450 million tokens out, and that's going to take about 30 years to get all of that. Maladex is only going to have 42 million. It's not going to take that long, maybe 5 years to get that out. Liquid is going to be like 29 million or something like that. So that's not going to take very long. ADA, MELD, and Cardano are more like lending, borrowing. Liquid is kind of that way too. So that's a little bit about that. We covered why I got into Cardano, why I like it, a little bit of background, some wallets, talked about some CNFT projects, talked about how to look at projects through CardanoCube, and I'm going to have that link down below. I think that's probably one of the most important links that I've shown today. So anyway, if you have more questions, always leave them in the comment section below. I may just start a beginner series, but hopefully this answered the majority of questions. So with that, thanks for watching. Throw a like on the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.